What is going on, everybody? This is Dylan with Dylan Talks Tone, and this is your weekly gear news update. Sorry we're a little late today because we are on a different time zone. We might be late. Well, we'll see by the time I get this edited. We're on a different time zone because we're in Denver, Colorado at Texas Toast Guitars. We will tell you more about what's going on here at the end of the video, but we have a bunch of news to get to first, so let's dive right in. Before I do that, I'll just take a second to allow you to hit the like button and the subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything, and the little bell. So just do that. 1001, 1002, 1003, 3 buttons. Okay, cool, let's go. The first thing is this crazy thing. It's actually a Kickstarter called the X Pick. It's a neodymium magnet guitar pick. When you go and watch the Kickstarter for this, they can play the guitar without even touching the strings, and it's sort of like an EBO thing, and you can get some weird, it's a pick, but you can get some weird effects with it because it's magnetic. I ordered it. It's a Kickstarter. You know how these go. Sometimes you never get the thing, but it was 40 bucks by the time I shipped it. I wanted to give it a shot, see what happened. So I ordered one. I'll let you know how it goes when it comes in eventually. Maybe. Source Audio apparently has been working on a compression pedal for like almost 10 years, and they have just come out with the Atlas compression pedal. This thing's got like 6 different kinds of compression in it. Apparently, the Source Audio app works with this thing, so you can have presets, which is very interesting. I've never seen presets on a compression pedal before. The cool part is you're gonna get a bunch of kind of different classic sort of things. So, you know, the LA2A optical compressor, 1176 FET, which we're familiar with, and then some other types of compression as well. And again, being able to control that with an app sounds pretty interesting. The folks over at IK Multimedia have come out with the new iRig Pro Quattro, which is an interface with 4 inputs in it, thus Quattro, that you will be able to use in a mobile situation. So think Zoom handy recorder kind of thing, or Zoom H5 sort of thing, but no SD card. So you're basically recording straight into, you know, your iPad or your phone or whatever mobile device you have there, so that you can capture up to 4 channels with that, which makes a lot of sense for, you know, maybe capturing an open mic that you're at or some kind of little acoustic thing out and about, and being able to capture that on the fly is pretty cool. That, I think, is available now. I'll try to find it, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. I'll leave a link to as much of this stuff as I can find. Do me a favor and use those links. It does help out the channel just a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything extra when you use those links, but please do that because it does help out the channel. German company Lehle, they've made a volume pedal for a long time. They came out with a new one. It's smaller. And what's really cool about it is this, they call it wear-free. So basically, you know, a normal volume pedal is basically like a volume knob on a little wheel that you can turn the volume up and down. It's sort of old school. This is different. It's magnetic, and it has what they call a voltage-controlled amplifier. So it's got a magnet sensor, and it's all electronic. So it's faster, the response is good, and it doesn't wear out, because volume pots, as you know, in the old school volume pedals do wear out over time. And it's got a really good preamp in it from their other pedal with some updates as well, and you can use it as an expression pedal also. This is a high quality piece. Very, very cool. Marshall amplifiers, this is our big amplifier news for the week, is something very tiny, and it's not even an amp. It's a Bluetooth speaker, but you know, we gotta throw one of these random things in here every once in a while. So the Marshall Willin is a tiny Bluetooth speaker. You can actually put them together with a couple of other Bluetooth speakers, stack them up. I think they have 15 hours of playback time. Everybody needs a Bluetooth speaker. And you know, if you've got a kid who watches YouTube videos in the bathroom, which we all do, I mean, let's face it, it's 2022, at least you're getting a Marshall in their hands. You know, I would do it. I might get my kid one of these. String maker Roto Sound has bought the name from Westfield Guitars from England. I don't know if they're actually going to make guitars in England. It sounds like they've just bought the brand and are going to use that brand name and bring the brand back to life, but I don't know in what capacity. I couldn't find the total details on this, where these things were going to be made, but the Westfield brand, which is, again, was a British brand, bought by Roto Sound. You'll probably see some stuff. A couple different acoustic guitars, some laminate tops. It makes me think that they're going to be on the budget end of the scale, which makes me also think that they're not actually going to be made in Britain, but I don't know that to be true, so don't take that. I don't know. But if you're interested in this, do some research on it, because I know a lot of people do miss the Westfield brand. Seymour Duncan has released some new pickups, or is coming out with some new pickups, the 78, the Green Magic, and the High Voltage. The 78 is basically supposed to, now Alnico 2 magnet, I think, and it's supposed to basically give you that Eddie Van Halen Frankenstrat kind of crooked pickup kind of sound, mimicking the Seymour Duncan that was allegedly in that guitar as closely as possible. Of course, the Green Magic, as you can imagine, is a set of Peter Green sort of pickups with the flipped over magnet for the out of phase in the middle. Dig that very much. And then the High Voltage is Angus Young, SG through a Marshall AC/DC kind of sound. Also, Alnico 2 magnet, very interesting for a high voltage pickup using an A2 magnet. Nick Johnston and Schecter, of course, Nick Johnston model of Schecter is like a S-based guitar, but they also came out with a T-based guitar. So the T-type signature model comes out with a couple of new colors. So it's basically a bold new graphics thing to add to the Nick Johnston line that has already been out in that Tele style guitar. In other bold new graphics news, Chicago Music Exchange and Fender are coming out with the Pacific Peach finish. They did it on a Jazzmaster before, so now they're going to do it in the Strat and the Tele in the Player Series. So it's just a Player Series Strat and Tele, but in that peach finish. I believe that is going to be exclusive to Chicago Music Exchange. I want to say not quite a year ago, we had on the Gear News the Final Fantasy, what is that, XIV, so that's 10, 14, Stratocaster. There's a reason why we go back to normal numbers and use normal numbers now, just saying. The Final Fantasy Stratocaster, remember the one, I think it's black, but it has the crystal-looking resin pieces in the side and the light can go through it. It's a really cool thing. And then they've got some associated picks with it. It was like a Fender Japan only model, because they do wacky stuff over there, really cool stuff. Now it's available in the United States. I don't know how many there are or if you're going to be able to get one, but it's a very, very cool guitar. It looks really cool. Almost a year and a half ago, when they announced at Gibson that Dave Mustaine was going to have a signature model lineup, they announced 3 electric guitars and 1 acoustic guitar. So finally, they are finally coming out with this acoustic guitar. This is interesting. Please get in the comments and let me know what you think of this. You want to say something bad about Gibson because it's a weird thing. I think it's cool because it's a Dave Mustaine thing, but some of these features are a little odd, especially for an acoustic guitar. It's in theory, basically a Gibson Songwriter with a bunch of Dave Mustaine appointments. You can see the inlays, you can see the pick guard, the peg head and stuff. It's got all the custom stuff on there. But the other thing is that it's 24 frets. I get it because it's Dave Mustaine, that it would have 24 frets. Makes sense. But how do you use, on this guitar, all those frets? How plinky and weird is that going to sound all the way up there? Now, if you had one of those neodymium picks from earlier in the news and you could do some weird stuff, I get it. This is weird. I don't know. Get in the comments and let me know what you think of this. A, would you buy it? B, if you had a 24 fret acoustic guitar, how would you use it? Would you use or are you just doing it because it's a Dave Mustaine thing and he has 24 fret stuff? I get it, but I don't. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments what you think of this guitar. So I have to say, we have been in Colorado for a few days now, and we have been working with Texas Toast Guitars. We did a pickup winding class last weekend, which is really cool. The folks that were out here wound pickups for guitars that they are now building this week. In fact, one of the folks that is here at the workshop, here is their neck actually that they're building. These are not kit guitars. They are literally starting with blocks of wood. This neck is a billet. Last night, before they went home, they put the frets in there, dressed the fret ends, put the angles on them, all that kind of stuff. So I think today they're going to do neck shaping. Last night, well, here, actually, let me show you. So they got to actually paint all of their guitars. I think in the video that came out yesterday, I got to show you where they got to use pin router and all of the sanders and all of the routers, table routers, and all the things to be able to make these guitars from a solid block of wood into something that they're gonna be able to take home at the end of the week and play. So this whole experience is very, very cool, including winding their own pickups. This has been a blast of a thing. Please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and the like button. We've got more stuff. And also, make sure you check out Texas Toast Guitars channel. I'm actually shooting a video for their channel today that's going to come out Sunday, I think, about neck shaping. So make sure you check that out if you ever want to know how a neck was shaped. And then, of course, while we're here, here is all the things that you have ordered over the last couple of weeks that we are making and shipping out today. So work doesn't stop just because we're on the road. We're doing all the things. Yeah, man, this is super fun. Thanks for hanging out for the news. And we will see you probably tomorrow night at our live stream, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, which means 6 p.m. where I live right now.